Hi guys, question 6. We have to show that this left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So, you know, these questions are nice because you can keep playing around until you get the answer you're looking for, get those marks in the bag. Right, so you'll see some textbooks and some people write this. Right, that says for left hand side. I think that's personally extremely lazy. I don't like to write that. So what I'm going to do is just write out this left hand side. Now I could start with the right hand side and try and show that it equals to the left, but I think it's always easier if you take the side with the most terms on. You'll find it's generally easier to do. So I'm just going to write that out. So 1 plus sine theta squared plus cos squared theta. Alright, so that's it. Right, so we have to try and show that it's equal to that. And you can see in the answer on the right hand side there's no coses. So we're going to have to get rid of this cos. We only want to end up with sines. Okay, so this first bracket here, I'm gonna write that out twice because it's being times by itself. Let's write that out. That should make it a lot easier. Now, also, because this cos has got to go, right, let's get rid of it now. So I know that is the same as 1 minus, oh, didn't mean to write that, as 1 minus sine squared theta. So straight away, I've got the sine, so this should be good. Okay, so let's expand that. I get 1, be careful here, so 1 sine theta, another sine theta, so that's plus 2 sine thetas, and that there is going to give me a sine squared theta. Sine theta squared, remember we write like that. We're going to add that to 1, and we're going to take away sine squared theta. Just always, if that was a minus, then you've got to be really careful there, because that would actually be a plus sine squared theta. Okay, let's tidy this up. So let's go back to our purple. So we've got 1 add 1 is 2. We've got 2 sine thetas. Okay, so let's just write that. There's no other sine theta terms to collect. And look, they cancel each other out. So is this the same? No, they've actually factorized it. So all you've got to do is put that. So that's 2 factorize sine theta. And you're done. Okay, let's look at part B. Okay, so this doesn't matter which one you start with, but you'll notice that this cos is now sine. So we're going to have to change that. And this sine is now cos. Now, I know that this cos doesn't match with this other cos because it's to the power of 4. Look at the powers, that's what you're trying to look at matching. So we're going to have to, on one side, change them all to the other trig function and see what happens. So let's write out that left hand side. So cos 4 theta plus sine squared theta. Okay. Right, so I'm actually going to start by splitting this cos 4 theta up, and I'm going to write it like that. I just think this is going to help you. So cos squared theta. Okay, that's exactly the same thing. Now, because I have to change it to a sine, let's pop the other bit on as well. So plus, we're going to change that to a cos. So let's change this bit straight away. So that's going to be 1 minus cos squared theta. Right, and we've got to change these to sine, so let's do that. So 1 minus sine squared theta. There might be an easier way of doing this, but this is my way. I think this makes really good sense. Let's pop that on there. So plus 1 minus cos squared theta. Alright, let's expand it. So we've got 1. Be careful with your expansion. I went through it quite slowly in the last one, so you can pause it and make sure it works for yourself. And you're going to get this. Sine squared theta multiplied by another sine squared theta is sine to the power of 4 theta. We're going to add 1, and we're going to minus a cos squared theta. Alright, so I can see here I've rearranged it and I've got that. Okay, so that's that bit there. So let's pop that at the front. So what else do I have? Okay, so I've got a 1 out of 1, well that's a 2. I've got minus 2 sine squared thetas, and I've got a minus cos squared theta. Alright, so the cos squared theta I want, but I want it to be positive, so that's no good. And I don't want these, so I've got to get rid of those. So if I change, okay, I see. So if we take these and we factorize it, we're going to get this. Oh, no you're not. I was jumping ahead of myself a bit there. This computer hates undoing, sorry guys. That's going to be sine squared theta. Okay. Okay, so that's just this middle term here I've done here. So, and that is the same as this, isn't it? So 1 minus sine squared theta is 2 cos squared thetas. So let's pop that back in there. So we've got a sine to the power 4 theta minus a cos squared theta. Right, nearly there. All I will say about that previous term is you're always just trying to change it using this sort of trig identity. Just think, right, I've got sine squared thetas, let's change it to cos squared theta, see what happens, and it will always work out. So 2 of them, take away 1 of them, well that's just 1 cos squared theta. So that is a great question. You know, you might have to watch that a few times, pause as you've gone to get your head around it, but hopefully that makes sense.